Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Varjana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayade Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Dushe Namaha Panchatattva-atmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tarale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat Hare Krishna. So thank you for joining in for PQPA, Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers, conversation between Mr. Bob Cohen and Srila Prabhupada. And also in between, Shamsundar Prabhu also asks a couple of questions. So these questions and answers have the potential to transform our lives. How we can practically apply the principles of Krishna consciousness in our lives. That's what Prabhupada is actually describing in these chapters. So let's quickly go into our study of PQPA. Currently, we are on chapter number 6. Yeah, we are on chapter number 6. Yeah. So here Prabhupada is, this chapter is entitled The Perfect Devotee, right? And then we saw here about austerity, right? Yesterday we were celebrating Dashera, Vijayadashmi, and today is Ekadashi. So we were talking about austerities to be followed on these dates. Right? Why do we follow austerity? Why do we follow no grains, no beans on Ekadashi Tithi? You know, not having, having only like fruits or, the best is, to do nirjal. If you cannot do nirjal, then you can do sajal, or you can do falahar, or you can do, you have Ekadashi Prasadam. Like that, various gradations are given according to how much austerity we can perform. But the underlying thing is we should be able to do more devotional service. We should be able to chant more. We should be able to read or hear from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc. more. In that way, our devotional service should not be hampered because of the austerity. Otherwise, we follow minimum standards of having Ekadashi Prasadam, and then we continue with more devotional service. Like today in the Ekadashi Sankalpa group, there was one Mataji who posted Sankalpa of 108 rounds. So in that way, like some of us are chanting 25 rounds, 32 rounds, 48 rounds, 64 rounds. All this we are doing, these are austerities. But these are austerities that don't trouble the body, but will give bliss to our soul, like that, right? So some of us who cannot do, nirjal on every Ekadashi, can do, with water, with fruits, or with Ekadashi Prasadam. But more importantly, chant Hare Krishna more number of rounds, and study and hear Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, etc. more and more, yeah. All right. So this chapter is about austerities. How austerities, what is prescribed in the Shastras is only to be done. Like we were discussing yesterday about how the politicians, they also do austerities. They go and sit in front of the, the opposite party. For example, the opposition party, they go and sit in front of the chief minister's house, and then, they say that if you don't agree to our demand, we want to fast till death. All that is very nonsensical, right? because they have some purpose to be fulfilled, some material desire to be fulfilled, so they just want to do some kind of a strike. Like similarly, workers do in the factory. So austerity is not that. Austerity is what we do for the pleasure of the Lord and is ordained in the scriptures and has been passed down in the disciplic succession to us. Right? All the Vaishnava Acharyas follow Ekadashi. Right? We know the passing of Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj also, which also tells us that it is very important to break our fast also within the proper Parana time that is specified according to our Vaishnava calendars. Tomorrow, what time are we supposed to break the fast? So there are vidhi for everything. There are rules and regulations. We need to follow that. We need to follow the Shastric injunctions like that. Right? So the next, what is Mr. Bob Cohen is asking, who is a pure devotee? Right? What is the definition of a pure devotee? So let's see what Prabhupada answers. Who is a perfected soul, who is a devotee, and who's a pure devotee? All right. So devotees can raise your hands. One can be Prabhupada, one can be Bob Cohen, and okay, Leela Nandini Mataji, you be Bob Cohen, I'll be Prabhupada. All right. So let's start, Mataji. A perfected soul.
Yeah. A perfected soul, a devotee, a pure devotee.
A perfected soul is one who engages 24 hours a day in Krishna consciousness. That is perfection, right? Srila Prabhupada will not mince any word. 24 hours a day, right? So we can evaluate how much of a devotee we are, right? For us, in the morning, 2 hours of Brahma Murta chanting itself is like, chanting is over now, you know? So who is a perfected soul? One who engages 24 hours a day in Krishna consciousness. That is perfection. His Grace Radhisham Prabhu. Sorry. His Grace Radhisham Prabhu was mentioning in one of his lectures, even when we go to sleep, we think that, oh, I'll be rejuvenated and then I can do my service tomorrow. That is the mood. That is the consciousness of a devotee of the Lord who really wants to serve the Lord. In the night, when they're going to sleep also, they think, if I'm properly rested, then tomorrow morning I can start my day with chanting and then doing other services. So that is where we aspire to be. That even when we are sleeping, even when we are having prasadam, we want to maintain our body, we want to rest our body adequately so that we are rejuvenated to serve Shri Radha and Krishna, Shri Guru and Gauranga. Yes, that is the transcendental position. Perfection means, Karpavali Mataji, okay, I see your hand up. Okay, you can be Prabhupada. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, yes, that is the transcendental position from there.
That is the transcendental position. Perfection means to engage in one's original consciousness. That is perfection. That is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Sve karmani abhiradha samsiddhim labate naraha. By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Complete perfection, samsiddhi. Siddhi is perfection. That is Brahman realization. Spiritual realization. Brahman realization, spiritual realization. And Samadhi means devotion, which comes after Samsiddhi. Samsiddhi means devotion, which comes after Brahman realization.
Could you just say that last thing again, please?
Samsiddhi?
Yes.
Sam means complete.
Some siddhi, right? Some means,
Yes. Some means complete.
Yes.
And siddhi means perfection. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that one who goes back home, back to Godhead, has attained the complete perfection. So perfection comes from one realizes that he is not this body. He is spirit's soul. Brahma Buddha. This is called Brahman realization. That is perfection. And some siddhi comes after Brahman realization. And when one engages in devotional service. Therefore, if one is already engaged in devotional service, it is to be understood that Brahman realization is there. Therefore, it is called samsiddhi.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, so let's see this. See, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati. That is the stage of Brahman realization, right? At that particular time, there is no Na Shochati Na Kankshati. That means there is no hankering and there is no lamentation. And Prabhupada is mentioning here that samsiddhi means complete perfection is attained after Brahman realization. So this is a higher level of realization. Because when one engages in devotional service, one becomes a bhakta. And a bhakta's position is higher than even Brahman realized person as well as Paramatma realized person. Why? Because even though we are situated in the material platform, we are working for the satisfaction, for exclusive satisfaction and pleasure of the Lord. We are not engaged in sense gratification, right? I do like to do something, that is why I'm doing. That is for sense gratification. That is not samsiddhi. That is not complete perfection. Right? But as we are engaged in the process of devotional service, we will slowly get there, right? Akama sarva kamova moksha kam udharadi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Tivrena bhakti yogena, determined, sincere effort in performing devotional service will attract the mercy of the Lord, will attract the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, because of which we will slowly but surely become pure devotees. Samsiddhi, right? This level we will definitely attain when we perform devotional service with sincerity and with determination, right? Okay. Okay, now anyone else wants to read? Leela Nandini Mataji, okay. Okay, Leela Nandini Mataji, you become Prabhupada now. And Shruti Mataji, you be Bob. Let's see. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Shruti Mataji, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Bob.
No, it's not, screen is not there, Mataji.
Oh, sorry. I'll just share my screen. I didn't realize it. Yes, go ahead.
I'll read, Mataji.
Yes. So you are Bob Cohen and Leela Nandini Mataji is Prabhupada. Okay. Nisha Mataji will come next turn with you. Okay, start.
I ask you this very humbly, but you feel diseases and sickness.
Hmm.
You personally feel disease and sickness.
Yes.
Is this a result of your past karma?
Yes.
So one in this material world never escapes his karma completely.
Yes, he escapes. No more karma for a devotee. No more karmic reaction.
But you must be the best devotee.
No, I don't consider myself the best devotee. I am the lowest.
No.
You are the best devotee.
Oh, no. But see, you say what you say always seems right.
Yes.
Then you must be the best devotee.
The thing is that even the best devotee, when he preaches, comes to the second-class platform of a devotee.
What would the best devotee be doing?
The best devotee does not preach.
What does he do?
He sees that there is no need of preaching. For him, everyone is a devotee. Bob laughs heartily. Yes, he sees no more non-devotees, all devotees. He is called an Uttama Adhikari. But while I am preaching, how can I say I am the best devotee? Just like Radharani, she does not see anyone as a non-devotee. Therefore, we try to approach Radharani.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, very, very wonderful, isn't it? Right? There are 3 levels of devotees that we study in Nectar of Devotion also. Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttam Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari, right? Shraddha Anusar, it is given. According to our level of faith, we are either Kanishta Adhikari or Madhyam Adhikari or Uttam Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari means he has good faith in the Lord. He goes to the temple, offer obeisances to the deities, has great Shraddha and faith in the deities. Right? But such a person does not know or does not want to believe that in every jiva, the Lord is situated in the heart. So it is very important to treat every Vaishnava or even every living entity with respect. Right? He does not know how to deal with other Vaishnavas. Right? The second level is the Madhyama Adhikari. In Madhyama Adhikari, he does 4 things. What are the 4 things he does? Madhyama Adhikari, he becomes friendly with the devotees. Right? He avoids the envious, right? Those people who are envious of the Lord or envious of the devotees, they keep talking ill of the devotees, or they keep talking about, Mayavadi philosophy, how I can become God, like that, who are envious of the Lord's position as a supreme Lord, right? So they avoid the envious. They are compassionate to innocent people, right? They are compassionate to the innocent people. That means they, in the Madhyama Adhikari, that level is where they preach to the new devotees, or they preach to new people who go for book distribution, or they go for Harinam Sankirtan, where we tell about, there is an ISKCON temple here, you would like to read this Bhagavad Gita or any of the small books of Prabhupada, would you like to take up this process, like that. So when we try to preach, right, that person should be she's considered generally to be in a Madhyama Adhikari platform. That means 4 things he does. One is, of course, like the Kanishta Adhikari, he also believes in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has complete faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in addition to that, he avoids the envious people. He is friendly with the devotees of the Lord who are practicing along with him. And he is compassionate towards the new people. That's why he preaches to the new people, right? So even Uttama Adhikari devotees, like for example, Prabhupada is saying here, I am preaching, right? So Uttama Adhikari devotees, like Prabhupada is an Uttama Adhikari. Why? Because he went to the Western world just with one set of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, some copies, and by the grace of his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Lord Krishna himself, we know how he suffered 2 heart attacks. He went through a cargo ship, and in the Western world, he went and he preached Krishna consciousness. He opened more than 108 temples in a matter of 12 years, from 65 to 1990, from 1965 to 1977. So, an ordinary person who does not have the mercy of Guru and Gauranga will not be able to perform such a miraculous task, isn't it? Right? It is only with the mercy of the Lord that such a humongous task is possible. And for a man who's 70 years plus, right? He went to the Western world only when he was 69, right? 70 plus age, right? How come somebody could create 108 temples? And Prabhupada, when he was sitting in the bench doing kirtan, he didn't know anybody. He was alone sitting on a bench. And somebody comes and asks Prabhupada, who are you? And Prabhupada is saying, I am the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. I have so many temples. There are so many devotees like that. So in this way, when Prabhupada is speaking, we can understand that there is a higher power, right? And Prabhupada is able to see what is going to happen in the future. And Prabhupada is saying, time is only separating us. There are so many temples, there are so many devotees, and only time is separating us. So Prabhupada is definitely Uttama Adhikari. And how was Prabhupada preaching? So these Uttama Adhikaris, taking mercy on all of our conditioned souls, what do? They come down to the level of Madhyam Adhikari, and then they identify who is envious, avoid them, who are innocent people, they be compassionate to them and give them. That's what Prabhupada did to all the innocent people who in the Western world who did not even know who is Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, who is Lord Krishna, right? Malti Mataji, when she came, she said, there is a doll, the black doll that I picked up. Maybe you will like it, Prabhupada. And Prabhupada offered Dandavat Pranams and said, he is the Lord of the universe. He is Jagannath, right? So in this way, those innocent people who don't know about Krishna, Prabhupada came down from the Uttama Adhikari platform to the Madhyama Adhikari platform and preached the message of Krishna consciousness. So that is the second level of devotee. And the third level of devotee, Prabhupada says, Uttama Adhikari is a person who thinks that everybody else is a devotee except me. Right? In this platform, one cannot preach because one sees everybody else is better than me. So what am I going to preach to them? Right? Srimati Radharani is Uttama Adhikari devotee. Of course, Srimati Radharani is the purest devotee. She's the one who gives pleasure to the Lord. So that is the nature of Uttama Adhikari, right? So so should we go and preach or not, right? According to the instruction of our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada used to ask everybody, whatever you hear from me now, tomorrow you go and preach. Right? So that is what we are doing. We are all soldiers in Prabhupada's army. Whatever we've heard from the bona fide parampara, according to what we have realized, according to what we can digest, that we simply repeat. We don't have to know rocket science, right? Tell everybody chant Hare Krishna. It has transformed my life. It has a potential to transform your life. That's all. And then we talk about Krishna Prasadam, right? Very, very wonderful foodstuffs we get. In ISKCON, multi-cuisines, right? We get South Indian Prasadam, we get North Indian Prasadam. Even if we are not in ISKCON, we wouldn't have tasted so many delicacies at all, isn't it? Rasgulla, Rasamalai, pineapple, halwa, this sweet, that sweet. Sunday feast is really a feast, isn't it? So we can tell the basic things, what we have practiced in our life, right? How the basic 4 regulative principles have helped us, to become a human being. And then how we chant Hare Krishna, how it has helped us in our growth, right? How it has helped us make proper material decisions, right? It gives us intelligence. When we become a proper human being, that time we get more freedom to exercise, right? Otherwise, we are simply being bombarded by so much of advertisements and billboards and we just walk. We are like almost hypnotized, right? But a devotee has proper discrimination because he has read the Vedic scriptures. what is to be done, what is not to be done, what are the rules and regulations, what are to do's and not to do's, right? All these things give us discrimination to make a judgment. Am I supposed to do this? Should I do this or should I not do this, right? So that is what it is. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so who's reading now? Nisha Mataji and Kirti Mataji. Nisha Mataji can be Bob and Kirti Mataji can be Prabhupada. Go ahead. Who is this?
Radharani. Krishna's consort. If anyone approaches Radharani, she recommends to Krishna, "Here is the best devotee. He is better than me," and Krishna cannot refuse him. That is the best devotee, but it is not to be imitated. I have become the best devotee. Ishvara tad adhineshu balisheshu
Vishatsu cha Prema Maitri Upeksha
upeksha yat karoti sa madhyamaha. A second-class devotee has a vision that some are envious of God, but this is not the vision of the best devotee. The best devotee sees nobody is envious of God. Everyone is better than me. Just like Chaitanya Charitamrita's author, Krishnadasa Kaviraja, he says, "I am lower than the worm in the stool."
Mr. Bob, who's saying this? Mataji, you have to unmute yourself. Okay, yeah, go ahead. हाँ, बोलिए ना, अभी सुनाई दे रहा है.
Krishnadasa Kaviraja, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Puri Shera Kita Haite Mui Se Lagishta. He is not making a show. He is feeling like that. I am the lowest. Everyone is best, but I am the lowest. Everyone is engaged in Krishna's service. I am not engaged. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, I have not a pinch of devotion to Krishna. I cry to make a show. If I had been a devotee of Krishna, I would have died long ago, but I am living. That is the proof that I do not love Krishna. That is the vision of the best devotee. He is so much absorbed in Krishna's love that he says, everything is going on, but I am the lowest. Therefore, I cannot see God. That is the best devotee."
So, a devotee must work for everybody's liberation.
Yes, a devotee must work under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master, not imitate the best devotee.
Excuse me,
One should not imitate the best devotee.
imitate? Oh, I see.
One time you said that
Yes,
some
Mother, one time you said that
Yes.
sometimes you feel sickness or pain due to the sinful activities of your devotees. Can sometimes disease be due to that, caused by that?
You see, Krishna says, "Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha." I will deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So Krishna is so powerful that he can immediately take up all the sins of others and immediately make them right. But when a living entity plays the part on behalf of Krishna, he also takes the responsibility for the sinful activities of his devotees. Therefore, to become a guru is not an easy task, you see. He has to take all the poisons and absorb them. So sometimes, because he is not Krishna, sometimes there is some trouble. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden, don't make many shishyas, many disciples. But for preaching work, we have to accept many disciples for expanding preaching, even if we suffer. That's a fact. The spiritual master has to take the responsibility for all the sinful activities of his disciples. Therefore, to make any disciples is a risky job. Unless,
To make many
unless one, yeah, therefore, to make many disciples is a risky job unless one is able to assimilate all the sins.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam. So here, a very beautiful point Prabhupada is making that Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastre Yuktas Tathabhav Yateva Shadbhi Kintu Prabhorya Priyeva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. So Sakshat Hari, right? The spiritual master is not different from Lord Hari. And this is stated in all the Vedic literatures, right? But then what is Prabhupada saying here? While we have to regard the spiritual master as Krishna, the spiritual master does not think that I am Krishna, right? So Prabhupada, what is he saying? Prabhupada is saying, since I am not actually Krishna, right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Mamekam Sharanam Praja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo, Mokshishyami Ma Shuchaha. You surrender to me, I will relieve you from all sinful reactions, right? But what does a spiritual master do at the time of initiation? The spiritual master actually takes away all the sinful reactions of the particular disciple, right? But Prabhupada is mentioning here, because the spiritual master is not actually Krishna, sometimes it affects the spiritual master. Sometimes the spiritual master does get sick or unwell because some of his disciples are not chanting 16 rounds, are not even following the basic regulative principles. So especially for initiated devotees, it is a must. It is our duty, it is our obligation to, if not assist our spiritual master, at least we have to ensure that we don't cause trouble to our spiritual master by not following relative principles, right? That is why we have to be very sure before we take initiation. Am I going to chant minimum 16 rounds every day? That is why some spiritual masters check for 6 months or 1 year whether one is able to make proper progress, right? I heard that it's called as Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He actually checks, is the devotee coming for every Sunday program? Every week Sunday is he coming? He will ask the temple president. Only if the temple president says yes, only then he will initiate that person. Why? Because we are able to practice Krishna consciousness, do our chanting, do our following of the regulative principles, do our service to the deities, to the devotees, right? All that can be done only in the association of devotees, at least once a week, right? We have to be in the association of devotees. We have to be engaged by our spiritual authority in some kind of seva, right? In that way, we are able to sustain ourselves in Krishna consciousness. So sometimes when the spiritual master initiates some disciples and disciple does not follow the 4 regulative principles or does not chant 16 rounds every day, it does affect the health of the spiritual master. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, don't make many sishyas or many disciples. And Prabhupada is saying, but we have to do, right? That is why there is also the offenses in the holy name to give the message of Krishna consciousness to a person who does not have faith in the holy name, right? That is an offense. But actually, when we go for book distribution, we don't know who is envious, who is innocent, right? But what do we do? But we are not going to tell them the glories of the holy name. We are not going to reveal that this will give you Krishna Prem and all that, right? We are not revealing the glories of the holy name. What we are telling them, it will help you transform your life. Your material life itself will become better than what it is, right? Are you stressed? Then, this verse from the Bhagavad Gita, if you read this translation part of the Bhagavad Gita, it will help you manage your stress in life. It will make you peaceful. Right? Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. You perform your work as a sacrifice, give the results of your work to Krishna, you will experience peace. Like that, we are only telling them, chant Hare Krishna, add Krishna to your life, right? That's what we are saying. In this way, because we are armies, because we are soldiers in the army of Srila Prabhupada, we just follow Prabhupada's instructions. We give Prabhupada's books, right? We are not going to explain esoteric tattva to them. Right? You're not going to explain Chaitanya Charitamrita or even Bhagavad Gita also. You're not going to explain anything. What we're going to give, we're not giving them Krishna's words. We are giving them Prabhupada's purports. Because Prabhupada's purports have the potential. Any lay person, any layman who's reading Prabhupada's purports will understand the purport. And if he cannot understand also, when he keeps reading, at least he will want to know, right? Where is the temple, right? And the address is given there. He will go to the temple and find out what is this book all about. How are we supposed to do? Right? A person who is sincere in reading Prabhupada's books, he will definitely be guided from inside to visit an ISKCON temple or to meet a devotee like that. Right? So Prabhupada mentions here, to make many disciples is a risky job unless one is able to assimilate all the sins. Assimilate all the sins means to take up their, to absolve them of their sinful reactions and to take up their sins. And to have the strength to be able to transcend over that, right? So that is why it is recommended that a spiritual master should not take many disciples, but Prabhupada himself has given instructions to some of his disciples to take as many disciples as possible, bring as many people to Krishna consciousness. So in this way, according to time, place and circumstances, our acharyas know what to do, what not to do, like that. But for us, for our level, what are we going to do? Yare deke tare kahe Krishna upadesh. Right? Not esoteric truths, not esoteric substances that you want to talk about Rasalila and all. No. We simply tell them what are the basic lifestyle changes we can do to have a peaceful life. Just 10 minutes of chanting 1 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Or study small books. If you're interested, you have a scientific bent of mind you have, then you read Easy Journey to Other Planets, Science of Self-Realization, right? Or if you're interested in yoga, etc., then you read Perfection of Yoga, like that. Some books of Prabhupada, because Prabhupada is given the entire philosophy in every book of his, right? And perfect questions, perfect answers. To somebody who has a curiosity, you can give him this book, Perfect questions, perfect answers. At the end of reading any of the book of Prabhupada, one will get the tattva very, very clearly in his mind. All right. So now let me share the screen again. So who will read now? Deepak Rastogi Prabhu, you can be Bob Cohen, and okay, I'll be Prabhupada. All right. Vancha kalpatharubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. He takes responsibility for all the fallen souls. That idea is also there in the Bible. Jesus Christ took all the sinful reactions of the people and sacrificed his life. That is the responsibility of a spiritual master. Because Krishna is Krishna, he is apapa vidha. Like Ishopanishad talks about this, right? Ashnaviram, apapa viddham, shuddham. These are some of the characteristics of the Supreme Lord. Apapa vidha means he cannot be attacked by sinful reactions. But a living entity is sometimes subjected to their influence because he is so small. Big fire, small fire. If you put some big thing in a small fire, the fire itself may be extinguished. But in a big fire, whatever you put in is all right. The big fire can consume anything. So here, Prabhupada is talking about the spiritual master are also, all of us are sparks, right? Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. That was what was taught by Srila Prabhupada. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us this philosophy of Achintya Beda Tattva. We are simultaneously same with the Lord, and at the same time, we are different from the Lord. We are same with the Lord in terms of quality. Sat, Chit, Ananda. But in terms of quantity, we are minute Sat, minute Chit, and minute Ananda. Whereas the Lord is unlimitedly Sat, Chit, and Ananda. That is what we need to understand. And Prabhupada is giving a very beautiful analogy of a fire. Right? If there is a big fire, right, in Holi and all they do, right, they put everything, they put a lot of leaves and all these branches and twigs, and then, there's a big fire, right? But that can take everything. But if there's a small spark, a little bit of fire is there, and then you go ahead and you put so much of, leaves and twigs and all that, what happens? Sometimes the fire itself gets extinguished, right? So according to our capacity, right, we cannot go and preach to somebody who is envious, for example, right? Because when somebody is envious, they blaspheme the Lord, and we go and preach to them. What happens to us? Sometimes we will get, because we are hearing the blasphemy and we don't know how to counteract. So what happens? Our faith itself may get dagmaga. What do you call? Will get what do you say? Becomes a flickering. Sometimes we are not able to maintain our strong faith when we hear blasphemy. So that is the reason we should not go beyond our level to preach to the envious, etc. So we have to carefully avoid the envious people, and we have to carefully preach according to our realization to the innocent people. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's continue reading. So Deepak Rustagi Prabhu, you're able to unmute yourself. Where are you? Okay. So now Kishori Mataji, you can be Bob, and who's this? Sridhar Prabhu. Yeah, Sridhar Prabhu can be Prabhupada. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam Mataji.
Dandavats. Yeah. Bob.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Dandavats Mataji. Go ahead.
Suffering was of that nature. Was I suffering?
That I have already explained. He took the sinful reaction of all the people, therefore he suffered.
I see.
He said that is in the Bible, that he took all the sinful reactions of the people and sacrificed his life. But these Christian people have made it a law for Christ to suffer while they do not consent. Bob gives a short laugh. Such a great fool they are. They have let Jesus Christ make a contract for talking all their sinful reactions, so that so they can go on with their nonsense, with all nonsense. That is their religion. Christ was so magnanimous that he took all their sins and suffered, but they does not induce them to stop all these sins. They have not come to that sense.
Mataji, lot of disturbance. Nagkishori Mataji, lot of disturbance. Yeah, go
That
ahead.
they have taken it very easily. At Lord Jesus Christ suffer, and we will do all nonsense. Is it not?
Yeah, Deepak Prabhu, go ahead.
It is so.
It is so. Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yes.
It is so.
Yes, Hare Krishna. They should have been ashamed. Lord Jesus Christ suffered for us, but we are continuing the sinful activities. He told everyone, thou shalt not kill, but they are indulging in killing, thinking Lord Jesus Christ will excuse us and take all the sinful reactions. This is going on. We should be very much cautious. For my sinful action, my spiritual master will suffer. So I will not commit even a pinch of sinful activities. This is the duty of disciple. After intimation, all sinful reaction is finished. Now, if he again commits sinful activities, his spiritual master has to suffer. A disciple should be sympathetic and consider this. For my sinful activities, my spiritual master will suffer. If the spiritual master is attracted by some disease, it is due to the sinful activities of others. Do not make any disciple, but do it because we are preaching our mind. Let us suffer. Still, we shall accept them. Therefore, your question was, when I suffer is due to my past misdeeds. Was it not? That is my misdeed, that I accepted some disciples who are nonsense. That is my misdeed.
This happens on occasions.
Yes, this is sure. Sure to happen because we are accepting so many men. In the duty of the disciple to be the cautions. My spiritual master has saved me. I should not put him again into suffering. When a spiritual master is in suffering, Krishna save him. Krishna thinks, oh, he has taken so much of responsibility for delivering a fallen person. So Krishna is there.
Kaunteya Pratikati Name Bhakta
Namema Bhakta. Oh, son Kundi, declare it boldly that my devotee never preaches, because the spiritual master takes the risk on account of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Your suffering is not the same kind of pain.
No, it is not due to karma. The pain is there sometimes, so that the disciple may know due to our sinful activities, our spiritual master is suffering.
You look very well now.
I'm always well, in the sense that even if there is suffering, I know Krishna will protect me. But this suffering is not due to my sinful activities.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So here, Prabhupada is saying, I am always well, in the sense that even if there is suffering, I know Krishna will protect me. This is one of the limbs of surrender. What is that? Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Whatever situation I am put in, I know that I must get more and more suffering because of my previous activities, right? Or the karmic reactions. I should get more suffering. But Krishna is so merciful that he's given me just a token of what is actually due to me, or what is actually due to me, suffering. I'm getting only a token of that. So for that, I will be grateful to the Lord, right? If that is the situation, then even though we may have, even though we may be suffering, right? We will still have gratitude in our heart, right? Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. In this material world, nobody can be free from suffering because this is a dukhalayam. And the creator of this world has already stamped this world as dukhalayam. So dukha will be there, but how much of suffering we undergo depends on our level of surrender to the Lord. The more we are surrendered, the less we actually suffer, because we understand that whatever I'm getting is happening by the sanctioning of the Lord. And the Lord is my dearest friend. The Lord is my dearest well-wisher. The Lord is my benefactor. Whatever happens, He will do something that is good for me only. When I realize that, then there is no actual suffering, right? Because what is not within my control is within the control of my dearest friend, who is my well-wisher. So why should I feel any anxiety, right? Bajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Torahu ye Bhava Sindure, right? Bajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana, right? When we worship Shri Nandanandana, the son of Nanda Maharaj Krishna, then Abhaya Charana Ravindare, we become fearless, we become free of anxiety, because we know that whatever is happening is by the mercy of the Lord, and the Lord is my dearest friend. So I don't need to worry at all. Okay, all right. So now we'll read. Now Deepak Rustagi Prabhu can be Prabhupada. Who else would? Who wants to be Bob? Nav Kishori Mataji, you want to try? You have to raise your hand. Okay. So Karpagavali Mataji, you can be Bob, and Deepak Rustagi Prabhu, you can be Prabhupada. Go ahead.
But let us say, when in the town I live in, I take boiled water because some of the water has disease in it. Now, why should I drink boiled water if I had been good enough not to get a disease? Then I may drink any water, and if I had not been acting properly, then I shall get disease anyway.
So as long as you are in the material world, you cannot neglect physical laws. Suppose you go to a jungle, there is a tiger. It is known that it will attack you. So why should you voluntarily go and be attacked? It is not that a devotee should not take physical risk so long as he has a physical body. It is not a challenge to the physical laws. I have become a devotee. I challenge everything that is foolishness. अनासक्तस्य विषयान् यथार्हम् उपायुजतः निर्बन्धः हि कृष्णसम्बन्धे युक्तं वैराग्यम् उच्यते. The devotee is advised to accept the necessities of life without attachment. He will take boiled water, but if boiled water is not available, does it mean he will not drink water? If it is not available, he will drink ordinary water. We take Krishna Prasad, but while touring, sometimes we have to take some food in a hotel. Because one is a devotee, should he think, I will not take any food stuffs from the hotel, I shall starve. If I starve, then I will be weak and will not be able to preach.
Does a devotee lose some of his individuality in that?
No, he has full individuality for pleasing Krishna. Krishna says, you surrender unto me. So he voluntarily surrenders. It is not that he has lost his individuality. He keeps his individuality, just like Arjuna in the beginning, he was declining to fight on account of his individuality. But when he accepted Krishna as his spiritual master, he became Shishya, a disciple. Then whatever Krishna ordered, he said yes. That doesn't mean he lost his individuality. He voluntarily accepted whatever Krishna says, I shall do it. Just like all my disciples, they have not lost their individuality, but they have
Surrendered there.
Mataji, go up. Actually, I have raised hands, so mobile. They have surrendered their individuality. That is required. For example, suppose a man does not use sex. It does not mean he has become impotent. If he likes, he can have sex life 1,000 times, but he has voluntarily avoided it. Param drishtva nirvatite. He has a higher taste. Sometimes we fast, but that does not mean we are diseased. We voluntarily fast. It does not mean that I am not hungry or cannot eat, but we voluntarily fast.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu. Very wonderful here. Like today's Ekadashi, right? It's almost relevant to what we are doing today. Today we've been fasting from grains and beans, right? Some of us are doing Nirjala Ekadashi, some of us are doing Phala Ahar, some of us are doing Ekadashi Prasadam, some of us are chanting extra rounds, some of us are hearing more Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. All of these austerities, why we are doing? We are doing it for the pleasure of the Lord, right? So we are not, it is not that we are diseased and we are not, it is not that we are diseased and we have to we are forced to take up this austerity. We are not supposed to eat, otherwise we'll become diseased. No, right? We are in perfect health, but we are doing it voluntarily for a higher purpose, right? Yeah, if I can be regulated in my life, then it is for a higher purpose, right? My destination would be to go back home, back to Goloka Vrindavan. If I please the Lord by following his instructions, if I please my Guru by following his instructions, my destination would be much higher. So I look at long-term goals, right? What are my long-term goals? To go back to that world where there is no suffering, right? Where there is no birth, death, disease, and old age. So for a higher reason, we voluntarily fast, right? So that's what it is. All right. So last part, let's, who wants to read? Okay. Navkishori Mataji, you want to try? Shobhamayi Mataji can be Prabhupada, and Navkishori Mataji, please raise your hand. Okay. So let's try. You can be Bob. Okay. Let's go ahead. Last section.
Does the devotee who surrendered keep his individual taste?
Shobhamayi
Yes,
Mataji, you there?
yes, in full.
Taste for different things? Does he keep his individual likes and dislikes?
Yes, he keeps everything, but he gives preferences to Krishna. Suppose I like this thing, but Krishna says, no, you cannot use it. Then I shall not use it. It is for Krishna's sake. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. Krishna says positively, I like these things. So we have to offer to Krishna what he likes, and then we will take prasad. Krishna likes Radharani, therefore all the gopis there are trying to push Radharani to Krishna. Krishna likes this gopi. All right, push her. That is Krishna consciousness. To satisfy the senses of Krishna, not to satisfy my senses. That is bhakti. That is called prema, love for Krishna. All Krishna likes this, I must give him this.
There is some prasada, food offered to Krishna. It's offered, and then we go and eat, and different prasadam are served. Some I like, and some I find the taste not at all to my liking.
You should not do that. The perfection is that whatever is offered to Krishna, you should accept. That is perfection. You cannot say, I like this, I don't like this. So as long as you make such discrimination, that means you have not appreciated what prasad is.
What if there is someone speaking of like and dislikes? Say someone is preparing some prasada.
No disliking, no liking. Whatever Krishna likes, that is all right.
Yes, but say someone prepared something like some prasada for Krishna, but he does not make it so good, and it is.
No, no, if made sincerely with devotion, then Krishna will like it. Just like Vidur was feeding Krishna bananas, but he was so absorbed in thought that he was throwing away the real bananas and he was giving Krishna the skin, and Krishna was eating. Krishna knew that he was giving in devotion, and Krishna can eat anything, provided that there is devotion. It does not matter whether it is materially tasteful or not. Similarly, a devotee also takes Krishna prasadam, whether it is materially tasteful or not. We should accept everything.
But if the devotion is not there, like in India,
If devotion is not there, he doesn't like any food, either tasteful or not tasteful, he does not accept it.
somebody.
Oh, India, don't talk of India. Talk of philosophy. Is there uh,
If
in
there is no.
if there is not devotion, Krishna does not accept anything, either in India or in your country. Lord Krishna is not obliged to accept anything costly because it is very tasty. Krishna has very many tasteful dishes in Vaikuntha. He is not hankering after your food. He accepts your devotion, bhakti. The real thing is devotion, not the food. Krishna does not accept any food for this material world. He accepts only the devotion. Patram
Hare
pushpam.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, I think it's 6:52, so we'll stop here. So very, very importantly, were there some points that we discussed. is very importantly, Srila Prabhupada is saying, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Right? If devotion is not there, then Krishna will not accept our offering. Right? Whether in India or anywhere else, does not really matter. Right? Because Krishna is served by Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Vajami. So Krishna is in Goloka Vrindavan, where there are millions and millions and millions of Lakshmis. Gopis are actually serving the Lord. The Lord is not in need of anything. The Lord Ishwaraha Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Anadir Adir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. The Lord is the source of everything. He has only created everything. Aham Sarvasya Prabho. Mata Sarvam Pravartade. Iti Matva Vajanti Ma Budabhava Samanvitaha. Right? Krishna says everything emanates from me. Right? So what is it that we can give to Krishna? Right? We can give whatever Krishna has given to us. That is what we are again giving back to Krishna. Krishna is giving. Krishna says, the moon, Krishna, the sun and the moon are my eyes. Right? The moon is nourishing the vegetables. We are cooking that vegetables and we are offering it to Krishna. So the ingredients are provided by Krishna. Our body itself is made of earth, water, fire, and ether, which is also given by Krishna. So we are utilizing everything that Krishna has given us. And when we offer whatever we prepare to the Lord, whatever He likes, and then have that as Krishna Prasadam, that is the perfection of human life. And in Prasadam, Prabhupada is making a very important point here. In Prasadam, we should not say, I like this, I don't like this. Right? So how far do we follow this? Right? If at least for me, what I do is, if it is something that we cannot have, like for example, if a person is diabetes, cannot have sweets, etc., then you can give that sweet before we start having prasadam from our plate. Before that, only we give to another person who likes sweets, right, or wants to have sweet. Like that, you can give it off, right? But we should not waste prasadam. That means once we start eating from the plate, then we are not going to waste the prasadam, right? We will complete whatever is there on our plate. That is rule number 1. And second rule is before starting our prasadam, if we don't want certain things which have been put in the plate, then we can just give it to other devotee friends who are there who like sweets. You give the sweets to them like that. That can be done, right? So they don't waste the prasadam also. And somebody who wants the sweet, wants a second helping also can take it. But most importantly, what are we going to do? We are saying, we chant this prayer, right? Mahaprasade Govinde, Namu Brahmani Vaishnave, Swalpa Punyavatam, Rajan Vishwaso Naiva Jayate, Sharira Avidya Jal. Right, this body is avidya. That means there is the sense gratification is a consciousness of avidya. That means we don't have the real knowledge. Who is the enjoyer? Krishna is the enjoyer. But when I try to enjoy my own senses, then that is avidya. That is due to ignorance. Jodendriya tahikal jiva fele vishya sagare dharamadya jivati. Right? We are stuck in this material world, and because it is very, very difficult to control the tongue, right? We don't able to control the tongue. That means we have the urge to speak and the urge to eat whatever we like. Right? These two things we are not controlled. And that is why what is happening? We are continuing to get entangled in this material world. But what has Krishna has done? Krishna bada doyamoy, gori baro jibajay, swa prasad anna dilo bhai, sayanamrita pao, Radha Krishna gunagao, preme rako Shri Chaitanya Nitai. Krishna is so merciful. Krishna has given us nice Krishna prasadam. Right? So Radha Krishna gunagao, preme rako Shri Chaitanya Nitai. So by lovingly calling out the names of Radha Krishna and Chaitanya Nitai, we are humbly taking this prasadam, which is the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there's no question of I like it, I don't like it, right? So we honor the Krishna prasadam, knowing it to be the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Simply by having prasadam, many people have become devotees. So that is the potency of prasadam. That is why my Jayapataka Swami, Srila Guru Maharaj always says, if a woman in the house is a devotee, then it becomes very easy for the entire family to become devotees, right? Because the woman cooks, offers to Krishna and serves the family with Krishna prasadam. Simply by having Krishna prasadam, one can become a devotee. And then one can start chanting, and then one can start studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. But the first thing, which is something that we do day in and day out, right? We have prasadam at least 3 times a day. So simply by having prasadam, what happens? Our consciousness, our chitta will get purified, right? So even those, when we see some beggars on the road, instead of giving them money, it is nice that we carry some prasadam with us, right? That we can give it to them, right? And I've heard some senior devotees say that if you don't have anything, we can purchase a fruit, some fruit, and then offer it manasika to Krishna, and that also we can give. if you don't have prasadam like that. So in this way, when we offer to Krishna and give to somebody else, that person by having the prasadam will get benefited. If not today, at some point in time, it will help him get connected to bhakti. It'll help him get connected to the devotees. In this way, we advance in our spiritual life, and we can become instruments. Like I said, in the army of Prabhupada, we are small soldiers, right, who are helping Srila Prabhupada fulfill his mission, fulfill the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, fulfill the instructions of his Guru. In this way, we please Srila Prabhupada and the entire Guru Parampara, and then what happens? We will please Radha and Krishna. So that is the perfection of human form of life. So I thank you all for your kind hearing and patient hearing. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I hope all of you all are part of the Ekadashi Japa group where we are chanting extra rounds. I saw one devotee is chanting 108 plus rounds. That's the Sankalpa. So in this way, we get inspired by those kind of devotees, and at least we want to do some extra rounds, right? 25, 32, 64, whatever is up to our capacity, right? The important thing is chant more Hare Krishna, hear more Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and spend less and less time in doing mundane activities. So that is the essence, yeah. So everyone can unmute themselves now, and in case anybody is not part of that group, kindly message me. This is my number. I think you all will have my number, but in any case, so I'm Medhamni Sakhi Devidasi, and this is my number. So you can just message me, then I will add you to that group, or I'll share the link with you. You can join the group. Yeah. So in this way, we want to chant more rounds to the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga, so that we please them. Because in 4 days, Kartik month, Kartik Damodar month is coming. It is a month of Srimati Radharani. So from today, which is the auspicious day of Ekadashi, we can prepare our consciousness for the upcoming Kartik month, right? We practice more austerities in all these important months like Kartik month, Purushottam Adhika Mas, etc. because we are able to access the mercy of Shri Radha and Krishna more, especially in these months. All right. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If anyone wants to ask any query or share any realizations, you can do so now. Otherwise, we'll meet tomorrow morning for the Brahma Murta chanting. And then we will meet again in the evening, 6 p.m. for Srila Prabhupada's book study, which is Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. We'll continue chapter number 6. Yeah. Anything from any devotees? Okay, fine. So thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ekadashi Vrata Mahamutsava ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So Dwadashi fast has to be broken as per the prescribed Paran time, as per your local Vaishnava calendars. So please check your local Vaishnava calendars or your local ISKCON temple and break your fast as per the timings given. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you. Dhanavad Pranam.